Holy hearties, a very good evening to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 'Tis me, Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on YouTube just for you. Dinky do. Friday night, nothing gets past me. I can tell you that for absolutely nothing. Lovely to have you all with us. Let's just see who we have tonight. And we'll go right back to the beginning. Stephen Douglas, you were first tonight. Good evening, Scottie. Hope you've had a good day. Great news about my great nephew. He's had his op, he's wide awake, and all went well. So happy. We're so happy for you. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Dinky do, says John Jones. Hello, Scottie, Stephen and others. Hope you're well. Let's get the show started. J-Dog, Dinky do, Scottie. Got to go for Din-Din's. A lovely steak stew. Bon appetit, mon ami. Have a wonderful, wonderful Din-Dins. Hello, Kareem and J-Dog. Hello, Scottie. Hello, everyone. Hope you're well, says Craig Cochrane. Lovely to have you with us, Craig. Gordon Robertson, you top man. Hello, everyone. How are you keeping this evening, Craig? Absolutely. A lot better, Gordon. Thanks. Still at the hospital, though. And glad to know you're making progress, Craig. Yes, Craig. We send you more strength. Fantastic. Sorry, I forgot my dinky do, says Stephen Douglas. You did indeed. Hi, Stephen, says Gordon. McClue is late. Finlay Morris McClue is never late. So there you go. You were perhaps early. Gordon Robertson says hello again. Absolutely. Hello, Stephen. Good to have you with us. Absolutely. That's two hellos you've had, Gordon. You've had the first one and then you'd one again. Hello, Scottie, Craig, Gordon, Stephen, Finlay, Kareem. When he gets here, hi, everybody. I think you guys come on earlier. I could see. Yes, absolutely. We're all on, Scottie. We're all on time. Good, Craig. Excellent. Well done. Dinky do. Here he is. Dinky do, Scottie. Professor Numpty Head will put you in timeout. Professor Numpty Hood's in timeout. He says you're 2 minutes late, which was not true at all, of course. And there we go. And on the button, McClue was on the button. So Professor Numpty Head is in timeout. Can he still hear us in timeout? Hi, Professor Dinky do. Hi, says Finlay Morris. Dinky do the news, Scottie. Thank you, Scottie. Scottie, I've just had salt and chili chips, salt and chili mini spring onions, and chicken and noodle soup. Kareem, you will have a warm mousse. Fantastic. Well done, though. So there you are. Hello, says Finlay. Hello. Yes, someone's in for the belt for being late. Absolutely. And who was late tonight, Catherine? Let's find out. I'm Barry. Nice to meet you, Barry. Lovely to have you with us, Barry. Christmas. Good evening, Scottie Dinky do. Tell Mrs. McClue and Johnson I said hi. I shall do, Glenn. Of course I shall. Pencil sharpened and the socks pulled up, says Catherine. Absolutely. No, we were on the button tonight. Absolutely, according to the time on my PC. So it should be spot on. There we are. We were just as I went live, it was turning over to the 8:01. Fantastic. You were late, says Finlay Morris, right? We'll put you in timeout as well. So there we are. Finlay's in timeout for checking up. Wonderful stuff, right? That's it. Start as you mean to go on, I always say. Yeah, that's what I always say. Finlay will be back with us when he gets out of timeout. And Numpty Head as well. Anybody else want to check up? Perfect timing, says Catherine. Quite right, Catherine. Excellent. You tell them. Scottie, I know you haven't had a coffee in years. I saw an advert on TV last night. You can now get coffee bags. Yes, but I wouldn't want them, Eddie, because they'll have coffee in them. You see, I don't take coffee. And how's your day today, Scottie? I keep thinking it's Saturday for some reason. I know what you mean, Kareem. And I think the old corona thing sometimes disorientates us a little bit. Would that be fair to say? Hi, Barry. Edinburgh folk used to use the word Barry to indicate something good. Yes, they did, Gordon. They would say they were absolutely Barry or something was Barry. How was your tea? Oh, it was Barry. What was their house like? Their house is Barry. You know, I don't quite know what that means. It's my name, Gordon, says Barry. Quite right, Barry. I'm Barry. Yes, you're Barry. That's why it says Barry on your name. Hello, Scottie. I was halfway through an old film when I realised it was that time. Yes, the film abandoned. Alistair Campbell, a very wise move. We can see an old film anytime. Scottie McClue is an original, and you will only get me live when I'm on. So there we are. More likes. What's happened to all the likes? People just not bothering? Are they not thinking? Have you liked? Have you subscribed? Guys, we must get the subscribers up. You've got a lovely, shiny new subscribe button for all your pals. Coffee bags. Well, I've heard it all now. No, Catherine Raven, you have not heard it all. There was a lady and her daughter in the supermarket, and she says to me, "Look at that, Mary, white sauce in a bottle. It would take you just a minute to make." And this was a bottle of white sauce for putting on your cauliflower and white sauce. Catherine, you're a wee teacher's pet. Not at all, Gordon. Catherine knows not to cheek up. So there you are, you see. When you're getting something like Scottie McClue, you don't bother about a second here or there, you know what I mean? And a vegetarian lettuce slice of the chicken sauce for tea. Tyree, very good for you. You can't beat vegetarian lettuce slice and a rich chicken sauce. Good evening, Scottie. A bit of worrying couple of days with mum's blood pressure. Count Murky-Lago. You take care of yourself. Love to your mum. Your mum. Absolutely. It was low. Yes, blood pressure, you don't want it low and you don't want it high. You want it just in the bit. Everything is put aside when Scottie comes on. I'm just a big sick Gordon, says Catherine. Quite right, too. Gordon will learn, Catherine, don't you worry. I'll share this on my Twitch. Scottie's is Twitcher Gamer, Piss Addict. Thank you so much, Twitcher Gamer. That would be really, really appreciated. So there we are. If you could share that on the Twitch. I have a Twitch account, Scottie_McClue. I haven't done a lot with it, but if you can get on there. And what have we got just on? I can see there's been negativity already. Yes, but now you're on, Thomas, that will disappear. You know what I mean? We had a wee bit of cheek from, who did we have cheek from? Oh, yes, Finlay cheeked up for some reason tonight. Was pulling me up on my own stream. You know what I mean? Tut. So he's in timeout. But he could come back on and join us. And then Gordon Robertson was thinking about it, but he soon tobered himself up. Scottie, I was listening to your broadcast with Mr. Martin earlier today. What did you think, Eddie? What's your favourite James Bond film, Scottie? Oh, scran! Yeah, these questions, you know what I mean? Yes, big decisions. Favourite James Bond movie? Caught the end of From Russia with Love with Rosa Klebs. And you have to watch her, you know, I mean, I think she does that for kicks. From Russia with Love, filmed in, I think, up the west coast, was at Loch Criden. It was filmed in Loch Crignish. I'm just trying to think where they did the end when they've got the ferry speedboats. Wonderful boats, actually, very fast. So on and off YouTube for now. No problem, Murky-Lago, we quite understand. Favourite James Bond movie? We need to have a think about this. Any more likes, guys? Come on, we should be all liked up by now. What is going on here? I do not understand why it's not the first thing everybody does when they come on. You like it. If you haven't subscribed, you subscribe, you know, and off we jolly well go. Get well soon, Counts Mother, says Merry Christmas. And good evening, everybody, says the wonderful Glenn Peacock in Sheffield. So there we go. Glenn, we had a wee bit of negativity, but Thomas is on, so everything's gone positive again. There'll be no cheek. What was I going to say to your favourite James Bond? So Russia with Love, Dr. No, yes. What's the one with Ursula Andress? That's a beauty. And what's the one? On Her Majesty's Service. Yes, George Lazenby. Who else have we got? Who else have we got for that? For Your Eyes Only is a cracker. I love them all, the whole lot of them. And you can say to yourself, well, it's of its time. Doesn't make any difference. They're still fabulous. Not sure about Moonraker. That's a strange one, but I quite like Jaws, the other one that Jaws is in. Get Wilson, Count's mother. I lied to you, Scottie. Thanks, Twitcher Gamer. All right, Scottie, dinner in the oven, back tout sweet, as the French say. I remember a guy phoned up in Yorkshire wanting coal. And he said, "Aye, can you get coal? It's Frank up the road here. And get it tout sweet, as the French say." He says, "No problem, Frank. Do you want it a la carte or cul-de-sac?" Maybe he's been hanging around with he who shall not be named, says Thomas Pearson. Aha. Scottie, I've been angry debating with folks about wanting all the kids back at school. This is at school, I added that in. That was in my brackets there. They want economy running, but no consideration to people's lives. Some people just do not think. Really selfish. I agree with you, Kareem. I always agree with you because you talk a lot of sense and you're far from selfish. You are the antithesis of selfish. Did you like what I just did there? And what about today? Apparently, Boris has put the onus on the business people. You decide if you want them back. You know, that sort of idea. So there's a wee slide, isn't it? Thanks, Catherine92. Don't really want to go into the hospital with a virus around. Know what you mean, Count? Yes, absolutely. That's cracking. My favourites, Diamonds Are Forever. Now, is Diamonds Are Forever the one where they smuggle the diamonds in the coffin, yes? And they put Bond in the coffin. They're about to cremate him. And then at the end of it, the two appear with his pudding. He's having dinner on the ship. Bomb surprise. And he just ties the bomb underneath the guy's legs and whoosh, over the side. Bomb. Liked and shared. Sorry for cheeking up, Scottie. Love my Roger Moores as well. And who was the really stunning looking woman? And my Pierce Brosnans. Like my Pierce Brosnans. I've never seen a Bond film since Barry Christmas. Barry, you must. Finlay says, sorry for cheeking up. Not at all, Finlay. We just had to take action to put a stop to any nonsense right away, and you caught the edge of it. Finlay's back with us, guys. He's very welcome. Off the naughty step. Liked and shared before you came live, Scottie. Well done, Stephen. And liked and shared, job done, Scottie. Kareem, I'm glad my kid left school last year, says Catherine. I know for a fact I'd be so scared to take her back. I'd probably have a breakdown worrying about her and her infecting some other family. Actually worried sick. So there we go. What do the rest of you feel? I know we don't really discuss coronavirus because we're in escapism on here. But what do you feel about all this back to work, back to school, back to this, back to that, back to the hairdressers, back to the pubs? What do you feel about that, guys? Do tell me. Scottie, have you seen the film Leaving? It's filmed in Greenock. Eddie, I have seen it many, many times. Many, many times. I could probably tell you Leaving frame by frame. So there you are. And I love all the characters in it because they are so real. The schoolroom was just like our primary school. The belt, the atmosphere, the no cheeking up to the teachers. I love the Heedy. Jerry Slevin plays the Heedy, stands out there, Anyone who gets this school a bad name will answer to me. Fantastic, Heedy. And Paul Young, of course, wonderful actor, terrific guy, really nice guy, and superb as one of the teachers. The other one that goes out and catches the two of them smoking. The technical teacher that couldn't give two. The Waverley makes an appearance. From Russia with love, the fairy huntsman and swordsman. Good one, Count. supplied by Ferry Boats. I've built many models of them. I even spoke to the designer. He sent me plans for the boats. Absolutely, I won't say his name, but Count Marculago. Fantastic. Yes, because are they not designed so beautifully that the hull keeps the rigidity just the way the planking goes and everything? Because these are big engines in them. Kareem, you talk a lot of sense. Also sent me a copy of a picture about somebody that owned a boat. Actually, wonderful. Pardon me. Can we do some sharing, guys? Says the wonderful Finlay. Thomas says, how are you anyway? Gordon Robertson. Daniel Craig's the best Bond. Roger Moore, that's my opinion. Well, I think Sean Connery has got to be up there. Roger Moore, we love him. I love Pierce Brosnan. Daniel Craig is, of course, excellent. Who else have we had as Bond? George Lazenby, who I think was just on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think he just did the one. Who else have we had as Bond? Scottie, you could hold a virtual classroom for the kids during the day. That would be an education worth having. Absolutely, Catherine. I am thinking about tutoring online. It's just an idea. Martha Pyong, just seen your link on Pez Twitcher. Thought I was seeing things. Wow, Scott FM McClue. Martha, fantastic. Welcome. That Twitcher, thank you for that. So there we are. I'm back, guys, says Finlay. Finlay's back in the pink. Actually, I tell a lie, Scottie. It's Dr. No that's my favourite. That was on the telly a wee bit ago and it was cracking. Now, is Dr. No the one where the girl is a double agent or something, or he's sort of having a wee afternoon meeting with a girl and she works for Dr. No? Is that right? Could that be correct, guys? Too soon, Vinny. The kids would know their history if you were their virtual teacher. Oh, they'd have to, Catherine. We would test them. We'd say, right, let's have a test. Catherine, you're so right. Please don't worry. Keep a mask on. Wash hands, social distance. Scotland seems to have a more caring approach compared to our neighbours down south. I had a discussion on Facebook. You'll see it there, you Facebookers who follow Scottie McClue. Can everybody follow Scottie McClue on Facebook? And follow me on Twitter at Scottie McClue. Instagram, Scottie McClue 1. Twitch, Scottie_McClue. Unfortunately, Alan died 6 years ago, but it's nice to have chatted with him and to have autographed plans of the boats. You've done very well there, Jared John. Beautiful stuff. I'm very well tonight, Thomas. Would love to know how you highlighted my name in red. Says Gordon Robertson. Gordon Robertson, I can't see your name highlighted in red unless I'm not looking on the super chat. Let me check the super chat. Oh, yes. Now, there's a subscribe button I put up for you guys. Use it well. Use it wisely. Wonderful. There we go. Right. Here we're up here. Got this. We're going to do a little bit of sharing. Right. I've got this. That's a new one. Don't worry. I've got this. I've got this. That's what people say now. All these sayings that people have, we're kind of becoming part of our language now. So when somebody's very something, you say, you are so not. See? Random. What's worse than ants in your pants? Uncles. Thanks, Craig. Get back to what you like. COVID-19 is here for many years to come. We just need to adapt and keep up the hygiene standards. Right, thank you for that. But, Kareem, have you just put £1 in there? You also highlighted mine in red, Gordon Robertson, says Thomas Baden. Kareem has just given me £1. I'm going to say thank you, Kareem, just to show that I can get on here as well. See? That I'm not just a pretty face and an athlete. Thank you, Kareem. There you go. Right, Kareem, you'll see that now. I'll put a dinky-do for you. We like to dinky-do. So this guy was arguing with me. I said about the English administration. He said there isn't an administration. And he was telling me it's national government and all that. And Kareem, I think that's gone up. I didn't get it. Right, that should say thank you, Kareem. Fantastic. You also highlighted mine in red. Oh, yes, we're going to check what these guys are up to. No, I'm not seeing highlights there. Not seeing the highlights, guys. Hang on a bit. Top chat, so live chat, is that right? Right, there we go. Let's get sharing. Just to remind everybody, guys, that we are live. We are not to be trifled with. Right, live now. Are we ready? That's it. Yay. Okay. Why does it come out? Why, when you type in live, does it come out IVE? I don't understand. I don't understand. Live now. I think maybe it's a bit sensitive. Keyboard's a bit sensitive. Right. What have we got here? Florida not going down on the virus. I see Barcelona is on lockdown again. Scary, says John Jones. Barcelona. Yes, I will, Karen. I agree. Kareem. I agree. We seem to be more careful on down south, but we have a fantastic leadership up here. So there we go. We're very worried about people who don't have a choice to stay at home. I know what you mean. How are you, Thomas? Says Glenn. Scottie, I also like the Scottish movies, Sweet 16 and Ratcatcher. Ha! What about Just a Boys Game and Just Another Saturday? Down Where the Buffalo Go. David Niven was the first Bond in Casino Royale. He was indeed. And Duncan McClue was the chief of the Paris police. And I love the line in the first Casino Royale when, because David Niven really played, I think, Bond as Ian Fleming had written. Had Ian Fleming not written that James Bond drove a blower Bentley in those days with the straps on the bonnet? And somebody said to Duncan McClue, excuse me, but you're the head of the Paris police, yet you have a Scottish accent. That confuses me. And Big Duncan says, it confuses me too. Lovely line. Timothy Dalton. So there we are. Pritchie, yes, we won't say that. We'll not make I'll take that out because that's harsh. But I know what you mean. Timothy Dalton. I'd forgotten about him. So there we are. David Niven was a Bond, yes. I think we should all be taking heed by all other countries coming out of lockdown and prepare for worst. Better safe than sorry. Gordon Robertson, you are a very, very wise man. Finlay, when you are put on time out, for how long are you actually on the naughty step? No, he's not on the naughty step, Gordon. We just had to rein in. There was a bit of cheek floating about at the start that I might not have started on the second. And that's because there was, I think, 16 people had been on waiting. And they were going, so come on, he's late, and all that kind of stuff, because they were early. And there was a bit of cheek about to be flying about, and we had to just nip it in the bud. Do you know what I mean? We had to do the Percy Silito. Do you know about that one, Gordon? Graham Niven played Hans Christian Andersen in an amateur dramatisation of the life of Hans Christian Andersen. Wonderful, Thomas Beedham. We thank you. I prefer not to think about my punishment length, Gordon. Finlay, could you still see and hear everything, though? Thomas Beedon, I don't know how I did that, says Gordon Robertson. He got away with it. Scotty Doctor knows the one in Jamaica with the rocket launch. Aha! But there's the lassie that goes back with Bond for the afternoon. Is she not dodgy? Does she not try and kill him? I mean, poor old Bond, he's got to be pretty flash. So there we are. Finlay Morris, absolutely. I'm going to subscribe. Merry Christmas. I cannot thank you enough. Please get all your gamers to subscribe, because we need more subscribers. And I spent time putting in a subscribe button, because I know that a lot of people on social media, they have so much to do, they become sunshine sailors. And you go, could you subscribe to Scottie? Where did I do it? I can't see it. I'll do it again. I'll do it later. Oh, that's no good. They need to do it now. We actually have to have it done. Kareem has sent another £1. Kareem, you're very, very generous. This is costing you a lot of pennies. We'll have a big round of silent applause for Kareem's generosity. I thank you, Kareem. You top man. Very, very much appreciated. Kareem has tapped the $sign. There aren't many left like you, Scottie, with the kind of knowledge you've acquired. It'd be nice to have children educated by someone with values and a stoic character. Well, I am an international tutor, you see. I have lectured, and we make sure the knowledge goes in. Hi, Catherine, says Barry. Thank you, Kareem. Thomas Beeden, I think you must be correct in what you say, says Gordon Robertson. There you go, Tam. There is a fantastic affirmation from Gordon Robertson. Thank you, Kareem. There it's up. I have loads of CDs and IPs I'm giving away if anyone's interested. Dinky-doo, Scottie, no problem, says Kareem. Gordon Robertson, I think timeout's roughly 2 minutes. They are, Gordon. Don't risk it, though. Don't risk it again, Finlay. Kareem, you're the one in harm's way. I hope you'll be safe. I can stay at home. I think I'll be more inclined to do so after August. Stay safe. Dinky-doo, Scottie, how are you? The wonderful Alistair King, one of our top engineers. Better for hearing you, Alistair. Dinky-doo to you. And it'd be lovely to meet you someday, if you know what I mean. Administration's an unfortunate term. So there we are. If Ian Blackfoot could stop using it, that would be great. We're a country with our own government, not an administration. No, he's not using it. It's Boris that's using it, that I've heard. I've never heard Ian say it. So there we are, the Scottish government and the English administration. But the other day I heard Boris say Scottish administration, and I thought, tot, tot, totity tot, 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 tot. And today he was raving on about the union, because the old independence numbers are creeping up and up. I think we're heading towards the 55, 60%, that sort of thing, wanting clear of all this nonsense. Nice one, Barry. Yep, get subscribed. Finlay Morris, that's not very long. I wonder if Scottie can vary the length of time out. No, Gordon, I wouldn't do that. I mean, if people can't learn the lesson in 2 minutes, when can they learn it? If somebody was being obstreperous, then we could repeat the time out, so they could be out for 2 minutes. And if they were out for 2 minutes 30 times, they've missed the stream. But can you still hear it? Finlay, can you still hear us? Catherine, it'll be mad. Elderly teachers being off, so many self-isolating, waiting for results, shortage of teachers. Probably classes can't run. There'll be lots of problems to come. I think so, Kareem, because teachers are wonderful, wonderful people. And to an extent, they're their own worst enemy in terms of officialdom, because they tend to accommodate so many challenges and difficulties, because they're solutions people. But you can only get so much blood out of the stone. You can only squeeze so much juice out the lemon. And, they're not superhuman. Who's everyone's favorite singer? Thomas Beeden, there was a girl I was at college with, and she was called Sheena Easton. And she became the world's highest paid singer. Lovely, lovely girl, super lady, and she sang the theme tune For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only. There we are. Yes, down with the big boys. Just another Saturday. No, down with the Buffalo go. Just another Saturday. Brilliant, Eddie Doyle. Gordon Robertson, don't suggest that, says Finlay. 2 minutes feels like an age when you wish to chat. Finlay, can you still hear and see everything? Though, do tell. Finlay Morris, do you think Scottie is in a wee mood tonight? He was very strict back at the start. Gordon, you know that if you're wanting to get knowledge across, you have to call for silence at the start. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't nip it in the bud, people try it on, you see? So there we are. So you've got to just lay down the law, read the Riot Act, say what is what. Total clarity. That's why Nicola is such a good first minister, because total transparency and clarity. Had the pleasure of meeting Timothy Dalton at a charity do. Surprisingly down to earth and very funny. Barry Christian, all us actors are down to earth and funny. You know? Absolutely, Kareem, I know what's in store. I can feel the tension in the air. I'm certain there'll be a lot of emotions running high. Absolutely, but we've got to, the teachers look after the young people as well. You know, so they don't sort of, you know, pass that kind of thing on. So there we go. If tensions are running high, then the teachers will look after the young people. Stay on until 10, says the wonderful Finlay Morris. Finlay, you're a man that understands true fairness. Watching the new Rambo tonight, Scottie, eh? No Twitcher, it's just Scottie. You don't have to give me titles like the new Rambo, but thank you. Finlay Morris, I only asked if you thought he was in a wee mood. It could have been a good mood. Yes, Gordon. More sharing, please. Oh, I haven't shared at all. I'm the one that's lagging behind. No, I did. I shared to the YouTube channel, which Gordon, being a wee bit of a smarty pants, if I may add, the other night said, why are you sharing on YouTube when we're all here? No, there was 40 of us here, and there are 2,200 on YouTube, so we weren't all here. Pardonnez-moi. Right. I didn't have time to get water tonight. I rushed in, so I wasn't late. Do you know what I mean? I put myself out for you guys. And then that's why we don't want to come on and get a wee bit of cheeky up, you know. We think, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. So that'll be a no then. I'm trying to type live now and I'm typing live no. There we go. Right. All that sort of stuff. Finlay Morris only asked if you thought he was in a wee mood. Sorry, Big Robbie Coltrane was in a Bond movie. Now, don't tell me which one was Robbie in. He ran the club, didn't he? And he had a white Rolls Royce. It looked like a Shadow. I think it was a Shadow 2. Now, what movie was that? What Bond movie was that one in? Fantastic. And I'll tell you who else was in there. A brilliant one. Sean Bean and Bobby Carlyle. They were in it. Have I got the right one? Was it Sean Bean? Was it Bobby Carlyle? Was he in it? And who else? Stephen Berkoff. Fantastic actors. We love it. Oh, and our other lovely Scottish friend was in it, flicking the pen. Do you remember? Who's that? Who can tell me who that is? There we are, flicking the pen. The computer boy. Scottie, you're the legend of the internet. Glenn Peacock, first lord of the internet. Peter McAleese, hi all. Hi, Peter. I hope you'll continue to tutor Scottie. I haven't come across anyone like you since my own father, although he wasn't a teacher by trade. Aha! In Time Out, you can still hear and view. Yes, Finlay, that's even better, is it not? For getting the message across, because they'll be fit to be tied. They can't comment or answer, but they can watch and listen. Harsh, savage. Why don't you just ask Scottie how he is instead of guessing? Just a suggestion. Catherine, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. It's true, says Roger Baxter. Wee soft spot there. Roger, behave yourself. Dinky doo, says Barry. Hi, Roger. Ride the White Horses is on YouTube with ferry boats. You've got Fairly Count Murcielago. They're fairies. Fairey. Is that not the same company, Fairy Engineering, that did the Swordfish? The Swordfish. In fact, is one of the boats called the Swordfish, no? Scottie, I was reading Boris Johnson walks like a penguin because he uses a lot of... Oh, stop. Stop, Martha. So there we go. Not at all. I haven't noticed. Matt says, can I get a shout out, Scottie? I had a stinker of a day. Found out my job's been outsourced to an old school CD player. I've been sacked with immediate effect. Matt, I'm so sorry to hear that. Of course you can get a shout out. Change your second name, though, and it'll be easier for me to shout out. Sheila Easton, so there you are. Made a star. Yes, Catherine. Yes, that's true. She was a great singer, a lovely voice. That's right. She knows from Bells Hill. So there we go. She was a Bells Hill lassie, if I remember rightly. So there we go. Now, hello, Scottie. I'm back from Dindins. J-Dog Gaming. How was your stew? I do hope you didn't rush to get back. Guys, we need to share. Would you stop? Stop. We haven't shared. And that's what's going wrong. Nobody's sharing. We're all getting into the chit-chat and nobody's sharing. So nobody knows we're on. The world is in ignorance, in total ignorance. They're all out there going, nah, there's nothing in the telly. Nah, there's nothing on the radio. What about YouTube? Nah, I don't think you'd get a live talk show on YouTube, would you? You know, I don't think so. Scottie McClue, nah, you wouldn't get that. Free John Boy, he's out, Matt. And remember, we don't do free campaigns or it's time out. Let's get this shared. The Noise Abatement Society would stand in front of you if you need to go and get a drink, Scottie. Stuart Clark, how did you know I had to get a drink? How did you know? So there we are. Hi, Stephen. Hi, J-Dog. Thanks, Stephen. How are you? Shared in Mary Hills, says Roger. J-Dog Gaming. Hi, Catherine. Fantastic. President Donald Trump on Tuesday claimed the European Union was formed to take advantage of the US and argued that the US's European allies had never treated us well. Well, I think maybe, bless President Trump, and far be it for Scottie McClue to fill him in on history, but it was America that set up Europe. They were in there. Both Churchill and Roosevelt wanted a united, peaceful Europe with the UK at its heart and a single European army. And the Americans were setting that up. So Donald needs to take a wee peek at his history book. And he needs to remember also, he is the President of the United States of America, so he should know the history. You see, this is what happens if you're not properly advised. Bless him. It might not be Donald himself. He just might not have historic advisors. You know, he needs to send for McClure. Mrs. McClure will make you a nice cup of tea if you ask her nicely, Scottie. I'll have one too. You'll be getting one, Alistair King. You know what I mean. Finlay Morris says, hi, Catherine. I'm good, thanks, J-Dog. Excellent stuff. So Donald's saying that Europe was formed to take advantage of America. Why would America set something up to take advantage of itself? I ask you. Oh, dearie mean. I hope Donald's watching Scottie McClue in the White House. So somebody tweet and put in hashtag POTUS. It was, yes, Sean Beanie, absolutely. Hi, Finlay. Sean Bean. Get Johnson to bring you some water, Scottie. Am I looking dry? Am I sounding dry? I'm flicking my pen. Who flicked his pen? Come on. Who can tell me? Right, Scottish actor. There we are. Wonderful. And enjoying this stream, says Martha. Martha Pyong, I knew you would. Everybody enjoys it. They just need to know we're here. And we thank everybody. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Johnson was making supper. This has got to be the best way around to spend an evening, Martha. It's great. Yes, did the swordfish after the swordsman and huntsman and the huntress. Well, you see, that's it. And also, Count Murcielago, as you well know, the fairy swordfish aircraft, where the pilot from Dunkeld in Perthshire sank the Bismarck with a torpedo. The fairy swordfish, the string bag, used to take off from the aircraft carriers. My friend was a pilot. So there we go. I once met James Blunt at Parkhead many moons ago. What a lovely man he is. He signed my hand. Love you, Scottie, says Aaron. Very kind, Aaron. Thank you. Guys, get this shared. Share. My steak was amazing. Steak stew was amazing, Scottie. Even had some pastry pie with it. Was the steak it just kind of fell apart in your mouth? Oh, lovely stuff. So there we are. Right, Matt, less of that. I was once fined £3,000 from my place of employment for using the B word, says Barry. Barry, tot, tottity, tot. You should have used it properly. Even then, though, you might have got fined. You never know. Scottie, you can do talk shows on Twitch, Scottie. You'll get monthly payments, says Twitcher. Well, but I would have to abandon my YouTubers. Sheena Easton's a Bells Hill lassie and I'm a Bells Hill boy, says Gordon. I couldn't believe it when they demolished the maternity hospital where I was born. I'd been expecting a blue plaque put up in my name. Not too late, Gordon Robertson. This was formerly the site of where Gordon Robertson was born. Gordon Robertson of the Scottie McClue live stream fame. I've just shared to all the top places on Twitter. Your number should be sky high, says Gordon Robertson. Gordon, you are good. You're very kind. You don't look dry. You look absolutely soaking, says Barry. Thank you. Gordon, Strathclyde Country Park beside Bells Hill is an amazing place. Been so many times with the dog. There are deer in the park. It's a huge park, big public areas, lots of attractions. Barry Christmas, you know my pal Barry Sandwich. The trouble is that on a mobile phone, you have to leave the stream to share with a PC. You can open another window, but you can share before it starts. I'm not any good, Catherine, with my phone. You know, when you're on the phone to somebody and they go, we've just sent you a code. If you like to put that in, I think, I can't do the same thing while I'm on the phone. All that. What a carry on. My second name's pronounced LeBlanc, phonetically, Scottie. It's a French surname. All right, Matty. I don't know Barry Sandwich, Martha, but I know Barry Easter. Yes, indeed. UK Prime Minister has revealed in a press conference today indoor performances, including music gigs, will be allowed to return in England from August the 1st. Spike 2, 3, 4 to come with Corona. Kareem, you're a man of great wisdom. Scottie, did you know that the Scots proclaimed Charles II on Charles I's beheading, so we never had a Commonwealth puritanical system under Cromwell? I didn't actually appreciate they'd done that, but they would have automatically, because the king is dead, long live the king. So it would have happened axiomatically as well. Alistair Campbell, very, 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 very generous. Alistair Campbell's just given me £2. Very, very good of you. Alistair, you gave me £2 last night. Barry's a lovely man. Boris wants some kind of normality by Xmas. Scientists say there could be another spike, and then they're saying vaccine by September. Who's saying the truth? Always go with the science. I mean, I would never, ever imply that politicians would tell anything but the truth. But, you know, go with the science, go with the proof of the pudding. Go with the facts. Been working majorly on the stream. I'm going out with a bang next week, hoping to do 2 streams. J-Dog, fantastic. Wish J-Dog all the best, folks. He's the next generation of Scottie McClue. Barry Christmas is says Matt. Have you to fill it in yourself? Dinky do, Scotty and everyone. It is money, says Alistair King. There we go. What have we got here? But that's very interesting, Robert Scrimger. Very, very interesting. So there you are. I didn't know that. And what else have we got here? Yes. Why all the money things going up on chat, Scotty? What is it? It's people giving Scottie McClue pennies, Alistair King, off their own bat, completely 100% unsolicited. Just sheer kindness and generosity. I don't know how they do it. They will no doubt tell us. But it's very, very kind. They put in £1, £2. Somebody gave us £5, £2, £2.99. We've had £10. We got £20 one night from an incredibly generous man. Kareem gives me £1 all the time. So there we are. Fantastic. Kareem, I used to stay 3 roads up from Strathclyde Park, 3 streets you could drive into. I went to the high school that backs onto Hamilton Road. So there we are. I read that there's no way there will be a vaccine by September. I hope there is, but there's no way. So there we are. Kareem says the wonderful Gordon Robertson. I used to say 3 roads up from Strathclyde Park, 3 streets you couldn't drive into. I went to the high school that backs onto Hamilton Road before you go up the hill to Motherwell Cross. Wow, I know Motherwell, you go all the way up the hill, you would turn left into Strathclyde Park, and then there's some nice residential streets further up to the left. Am I not right in thinking there's a wee bit of mining settlement about there? Was Strathclyde Park not mined? I read that. There's no way. Yes, we read that, sorry. Well, I say common sense says normality will come after vaccine. So we wait, I guess, with the facts. So I'll stop at the house. Aha, I wondered how. I'm going to donate my pay packet at the end of the month. No, Barry, you don't donate your pay packet. £1, £2, that sort of thing. The numbers will continue to spike from time to time. I think that's just going to be the new normal for some time. So there we are. Guys, how does the tapping the dollar work? Does it come off your card? Scotty, I was thinking that maybe the eerie feeling at the mausoleum hasn't something to do with the dungeons behind the lions. Like, where did they say leave them to the lions come from? What is that, a mausoleum phrase? Leave them to the lions. So is there won't be dungeons beneath the mausoleum. No, because the mausoleum was built as part of the palace. Merry Christmas. You have a Merry Christmas. Martha, I don't understand the question. I am Merry Christmas. You need to register your card with Apple, then it comes off your card. Count Murky Lago, thank you. I wondered how that happened. Russia's been blamed for hacking the virus off the British and American scientist. So is it only Apple then? Aha. Thomas Peterson, can I have a shout out for my fiancée, Erin Foy? She's disappointed and sad tonight. She was supposed to be going to see James Blunt live in concert. It's been cancelled due to the virus. But Thomas Peterson, surely the fact that Scottie McClue's on will cheer her up no end. You know, I might sing slightly differently. Yes, you're right with the area I was brought up in, Scotty. There's a lot of mine workings in the area. But licking, there's never been. I think you mean luckily. There's never been subsidence in the houses. No extra stuff. Well, I would think that the coal board would have had to go around and ensure that there were no cornices moving and doors jamming and all that. I think you mean feed them to the lions, says Barry. Gordon, there's a big high school at the motorway at Bells Hill. It looks different from the norm because of the type of windows. Kareem Zachariah. I think Robbie Coltrane was in Octopussy. I liked Octopussy. Was that when the beautiful girl, her father had the mines in Cannes or something like that. Was that right? Alistair King, you naughty, naughty boy. Alistair King, folks, has just put £9.99 on Scottie McClue's Tapping the Dollar. Alistair King, that is extremely, extremely generous of you. That will come back to you several-fold, I can tell you. James Blunt's a wise man. The Cardinal Newman, Kareem, says Thomas. Yes, Cardinal Newman. View to a Kill, Scottie. Was it View to a Kill that she was a very, very attractive girl? Bond was in love with her. And I think in the movie he had to kill her in the end. M was there. Judi Dench was there as M. And he had to kill her. What was her name? Electra. Was that right? Have I got that? Do I like tuna, says Evil Shadow. I don't know, Evil. Well done, Alistair King. Absolutely a big round of silent applause for the wonderful generosity of Alistair King, one of our top engineers. That was very kind of you, Alistair. However, when Strathclyde Loch was being created, a small mining village called Bothwell Haugh was cleared of people and flooded. Its remains lie under Strathclyde Loch. Gordon Robertson, I've heard of Bothwell Haugh. How long ago was this? Is anybody still alive from Bothwell Haugh? That must have been a wee mining village, because they undermined the palace, remember. Alistair King has tapped the dollar big style. Thomas Beeden, he hasn't half. Absolutely, very, very generous. You're welcome, Scottie. Anything to help a friend. Alistair King, you are such a nice man. You work and work and work and work. And you look after and look after and look after. And you give and you give and you give. And you're a real top man. And remember, I may yet benefit from your engineering skills. A small cairn was built on the shore to commemorate Bothwell Haugh. Gordon Robertson, more information. When was it around? Tell us more. You're welcome, Scottie. I've seen a fish in my bath, says Evil Shadow. It might be a tuna. There we are, a tuna day. Alistair King, $9.99. Class. Very class, Twitcher. No, they're under the loch, says Finlay. What, all the houses and everything gone? Nothing there. Did I Die Another Day with Pierce Brosnan? Now, Die Another Day, what was the one with the wonderful Jonathan Pryce in it as the sort of media baron? And he was up to no good. And he had Tomorrow's News Today was his caption. That was his handle, Tomorrow's News Today. And he was getting up to all sorts of naughty things. Very manipulative media baron. And the doctor was in it with the pistol. Yes, and Bond had a wee meeting with the media baron's wife. And he said she needs to have an appointment with the doctor, and they shot her. Oh, Pierce Brosnan was in that one with the BMW that he drove with the wee computer on his phone. Bothwell Haugh was demolished around 1965. Craig Coughlin. So I could have remembered it then. Tomorrow Never Dies. Count Morkilago, absolutely. You will, Scottie. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'll take a day off and trundle through. Such a top man, Alistair King. Tomorrow Never Dies. The entire population of Bothwell Haugh was evacuated in 1965. Right, Gordon. I hope they were given nice houses and stuff like that. Dab on the haters, Evil Shadow. Absolutely. Dab on the haters. I don't like haters. Let's all get donating, says the wonderful Thomas Beaton. When do you think England will go back to normal? Glenn Peacock, I think the concept of going back to normal, we need to forget it. I think that's had its day. So there we are. I don't like James Bond, Scotty. So there we are. Well, Martha, he speaks very highly of you. GoldenEye was a good one. Now, tell me more, remind me a bit more about GoldenEye. What was the GoldenEye? Was it a thing that had to be rescued, something that could do the world a lot of harm? What's the one with the big opening up? Did the man with the golden gun, was that the opening up island? And Odd Job was in that. Yes, because, that was Goldfinger. Goldfinger. And was Odd Job also in the man with the golden gun? There we are. I drank some coconut milk today, Scotty. Finlay Morris. Congratulations, my dear fellow. I'm very pleased. Apparently it's very good for you. The wonderful Thomas Peden has put £1.99. He's tapped the dollar. Thomas Peden. Oh, no, silent applause because that sounds bad on people's headphones. Very, very kind of you. Very generous, Tam. Thank you. You won't want that back, though, when you're in a mood, will you? Have to watch. Locally, the village was known as the Pales, obviously because it was near the Pales or the Palace, because it was near Hamilton Palace. Back then, the M74 didn't exist. So hold on. So the M74 didn't exist. So the Bothwell Road would be the main road running through Hamilton and out the other side. Yes, you'd go through Hamilton and probably out. You probably went out through Carluke if you were going south. You wouldn't go south through Motherwell, I take it. So, sorry for pointing, I'm just trying to work this out. So Hamilton Palace was on the north side of the Bothwell Road, one of the entrances there, just at the Covenanters Memorial, is that right? And that was the gates to the palace. The gates are still there. They're along towards the old Hamilton Academy, no? What's that there? There's a school along there. Yes, and the gates for the palace are still there. They're upside down, but they're part of the fencing. The racecourse would be part of the grounds of the palace. So where was the palace? Just make sure I've got a nice bit of tablet when I'm over, Scotty. Oh, yes, Alistair. It was a laser that was going to destroy the countries from space. Count Martilago, yes. Was Ian Fleming not Scottish? Yes, he was, Robert Scrimger. Ian was educated at Eton. His father was Captain Valentine Fleming, and I think he was killed in the First World War. Valentine was a friend of Churchill's, and Ian married Anne Fleming, who was a great London hostess. And I think his family had an estate in Scotland, but Ian was on the verge of his money running out, and they said he just started tap, tap, tappity tap on his typewriter just in time. And he died when he was about 64. And he had the cigarette holder and the fancy fags. He was a bit of a James Bond himself. I think he'd been a commander in the Navy, and he knew a bit about secret stuff. And yes, I think that's the story. And they were Flemings the bankers. So there was a lot of wealth in the family. Flemings the bankers. Absolutely. So there you go. What about that? And they were a Scottish family. I was arrested on the 74 once, says Barry Christmas. Yes. You go south from Douglas. Yes, you'd pass the old 74. You go through Douglas. Well, you wouldn't go through Douglas. You'd just go through the road end there and the Douglas and Angus estate. So the way you would have gone going south, and I've done it, you would go through Paisley, to East Kilbride, East Kilbride to Straven, and then Straven down to what's the one? Down to Abington, and the old 74 would have kicked in round about then, and then taken you down. It would have stopped. No, I don't know this. The old A74. Sorry, and then you would have ended up going through Annan and East Riggs, and because I remember going through East Riggs, you'd have gone through East Riggs, and you'd have then gone into Carlisle. And you might have gone down the Scots Road, and then you would have gone out London Road, Carlisle, and then your next big place would have been Penrith, probably Omont Bridge, Penrith, Kendal, Lancaster, Preston, and that's you halfway down the country. Woo! What about that? So there we are. Do you like the Oxford drink, Scotty? Just asking. Martha, yes. 0 times 0. Goldfinger was also the Baron in Oh, yes, Chittagong and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yes, he was. The Baron who fell on his head. There's German. And the German in The Magnificent Men in their flying machines. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. That was a great one, The Magnificent Men in their flying machines. And the English chap going to give the American a damn good thrashing. I live next to the beach. I got eaten by a shark. I'm on the shark now. It's eaten my Wi-Fi box. Evil Shadow, I'm wondering if this is the right stream for you. You know, this is mainly for people who are the full shilling. The railings for the palace were moved to the palace grounds. They were originally situated in the Motherwell Road, yes. They were moved up to the Bothwell Road. Yes, they're in the Bothwell Road, current location in the 60s. And I think they're upside down. Is that right, Gordon? Yellow card for Shadow for talking guff. Yes, let's look out some cards, guys. We're getting a bit of nonsense here. I must have a card or two here, I'm quite sure. Let's just see what we've got roundabout here. Any cards? Or we got, there must be cards. Well, if not, we can make a card up. Well, we've been on an hour. Could I trust you to stay here and la la if you don't know the tune? And I'll nip for a glass of Wasser, as we would say in Germany. So we'll all be right here for a minute. Right, I'm off for a glass of Wasser. Yes. Right. Oh. Oh. Oh! Ho ho! Oh dear. There we go. Ah, yes. That's the... Thank you very much for staying here. Did anybody do a runner while we were away? Did anybody talk? You should be in charge. Right. Gordon Robertson. The railings were moved due to the construction of the M74 and associated junctions. So was the M74 at the front gates of the palace? Would the front gates of the palace go on to Strathclyde Park? Was Strathclyde Park part of the palace grounds and the racecourse? Catherine Raven says, does anyone know what I'm talking about with the chambers behind the lions at the mausoleum? There are small bars on the carved out space that looks like a miniature dungeon with no apparent reason for it. Well, Catherine, I would need to find out the history of the mausoleum, but maybe that was the burial chamber and the lions were guarding it. We've thrown them to the lions. But I would have thought that the sarcophagus for the wee Duke, that they had to break his legs, bless him, to put him in, I would have thought that would have sat proud in the centre of the mausoleum. Did you say the other day you'd been in the mausoleum? Has anybody been in the Hamilton Mausoleum, guys? Can we have a bit of knowledge here? Because we are a knowledge exchange, information, education, entertainment. Rude, mate, says Evil Shadow. Evil Shadow? All harmony on here. Stop talking about motorways, says Finlay Morris. Why are you, do they frighten you, Finlay? Evil Shadow, what are you talking about? I wonder if Evil Shadow might have to go in. What's even going on here? I'm lost, says Thomas Beaton. Thomas, there's chat going on. So join in or change the subject or anything you like. It's not a problem. I'm just going with the flow. You decide what we do. The Hamilton Palace sat in front of the mausoleum and gave up to Châtellerault, which was the hunting lodge of the Dukes of Hamilton. Correct. Now, I know Châtellerault well, so it sat in front of the mausoleum. The mausoleum would be in the back garden, yes? And Strathclyde Park would be the front garden. And Châtellerault would be a continuation, so you would ride from the palace over to Châtellerault for a hunting weekend. Correct, Gordon Robertson? Is McClue getting it? Châtellerault was known locally as the Kennels, where you see maybe Gordon Robertson in its day before it was done up. It's now beautifully done up, and I think you can hire it out for functions. It's relatively small, it's tiny, it's beautiful. If I was having a classical country house, Châtellerault would go a long way to meeting my requirements because it's beautiful and elegant, but it's not huge and unmanageable. And Hamilton Palace, I've seen pictures of the family inside Hamilton Palace, and it looked to me as if it was a massive marble and stone hallway, which must have been freezing. I know one big house like that with 360 rooms, a calendar house, and they had special jackets made, the family. They stayed in their rooms, but if they had to move room, they put on their special family jacket. It was so cold. And the house would have, dozens and dozens and dozens of fireplaces. But even when they were all roaring, it would be difficult to keep a place like that warm. Gordon, you know your stuff. He does. He's a genius, Catherine. He's a wonderful man. I'm going to Darlington at 3 a.m. Monday morning to collect my new transporter lorry. Alistair King, that is fabulous. I know Darlington well. I used to go through it at 3 a.m. in the morning. I was either going up or down. It was quite a privilege. I remember driving from Sheffield to Edinburgh on the, what would it be? So I suppose it'd be the 30th of April. The 30th of April, I'd done my show and finished at 1 in the morning on the 1st of May, 1997. And I drove to Edinburgh, got into the house, and it was the most gorgeous dawn was coming up. And I used to drive through summer evenings through all these places. They were quite Chesterley Street and things like that, because very often roads were shut, main trunk roads were shut, as you know, Alistair, and you got redirected off through a town that you'd probably not visited in your life or voluntarily or whatever. And so I would go through places like Chester Street and Barnard Castle and all that sort of idea. Anyway, there I was into the house in East Lothian at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 1st of May 1997. On went the telly, and Tony Blair had got into power. And I thought, well, that's the end of the Labour Party. And I was pretty well right, actually. You know, I think I heard Scottie getting on his horse, Catherine. So there we are. So safe journey, Alistair. Get yourself a wee kip before you go, and thank you again for your kindness and your generosity. That new wagon will be brilliant. Chat amongst yourselves, says Stuart Clark. Why, Stuart? I think I heard Scottie getting on his horse. Tell me if I'm out of line here, Scottie. I think Kareem deserves one of the badges off your hat for his generosity. Tell me if I'm out of line. Thomas Peden, why would you ever be out of line? You are a mature, sensible man who always thinks before he says something, who thinks before he types, who's very generous and thoughtful of others, who doesn't do any negativity and all that sort of stuff. If you stand in front of Châtellerault, says Gordon, and look down the hill, you actually look down the remnants of a wide oak tree-like avenue which ran down to the palace. I've walked the dog on it. And there's also a road that runs along that would probably run from Châtellerault to the palace. The avenue of oak trees. And then at the back of Châtellerault, you've got the Great Oaks. What's the title of the oaks again? And you've got a castle at the back of Châtellerault, haven't you? You've got an ancient castle there. Yes, give us all that, Gordon. Scottie, do you have a poltergeist? Your books and CDs started to move. Kareem, that would just be maybe the camera getting a wee shake. No one went anywhere, says Catherine. I know, what's all this? Where did McClue go? I never went anywhere. I've been here. There's a small Bothwell Home Memorial Garden in Strathclyde Park across from the theme park. Ah, Craig. I love the history. I'd love to talk to people now. If Bothwell Hall was flooded, had it been empty for any length of time, if it was flooded in 1965, I suspect there would still be a Bothwell Hohian alive and well. I know a song that will get on your nerves, get on your nerves, get on your nerves. Thanks, Count Marcalago. Martha, Scottie watching the budgies flying round the house, and one flew crack into the mirror and sparkled. Yes, Martha. What are you taking, dear? Bring me the bottle. That was inside, but this is on the outside, says Catherine. I'm thinking the mausoleum has a strong ghost presence. I have a friend who did a ghost investigation there with a singer. So there we are, from a famous group. Yes, I know. Kareem says, I just checked, and oh my goodness me. The current head teacher at the high school was my science teacher at St. Dennis. There you go, Kareem. I've been in the Hamilton Mausoleum several times. Right, Gordon Robertson. Spill time. It's got mosaics. It's a rotunda, obviously. It's got mosaics. It's got the great big double doors, heavy steel doors, yes. Is there a centerpiece, and is there still a sarcophagus or anything there? I know there are no remains. There are no human remains in the Hamilton Mausoleum. Am I correct? Is there a gallery, a balcony? Is there a wonderful echo if you go, oh, oh? Does it go around? All that sort of idea. I was incarcerated in it. Merry Christmas, you were not. Stop talking nonsense. I know they broke the legs inside, but it's a bit to the sides. I'm wondering what it was made for, then covered with small bars. It's maybe just a sort of breathing space. I don't know. Gordon will know. Gordon, a sort of basement area to the mausoleum. What's down there? Thomas Beeden, I think I took a wrong turn, Lancaster. Where did you end up, Tom? Strathclyde Park, says Barry. Yes, you've got the layout for Hamilton Palace just fine. Gordon, that's all just kind of a wee bit of Sherlock Holmes work, you know what I mean? And you'd be too young, of course, to remember anybody, because I think it was taken down in 1924 or 1929, so it just survived the First World War. There we are. And some furniture was bought by, it was got off the tip, I think, and ended up in one of the local ice cream parlors. And then they had it valued a few years ago. It was worth a fortune. So what had happened when the palace was demolished, there was so much furniture that it ended up on the tip. Do the lions represent the lions of Judah? Now, Alistair Campbell, they may well do. Lions obviously are very good guardians, and there are two, one awake and one asleep. So does one maybe also denote life and the other death? I don't know. It's very, very clever. There'll be all sorts of wonderful, wonderful old legendary to it, you know, going back probably to the ancients, you know, that sort of idea. Because the aristocrats used to go on what was called the Grand Tour. And the Grand Tour took in all these wonderful classical places like Venice and that. The Grand Tour was a tour of Europe. And your aristocratic youngsters went on the Grand Tour. And that's where they saw Baroque architecture and Palladian architecture, neoclassical stuff, Ionic pillars, fountains, flutes, Norman arches, Gothic arches. They saw all these things and came back and wanted to build a house. And of course, in the 1700s, you were judged as a nobleman, as a gentleman, on the size of your house. You see? Change the days now. So there we are. So very interesting, because that was the agrarian revolution. So the money was not in the towns or the cities. It was in the countryside. It was in the land. It was in the farming. We got it because think about farming then. Food. So all the different beasts for food. Skins, furs, things to keep you warm. Shoes. So you've got your shoes and your clothing and your food. What more do you want? It comes from the land. It comes from the farm. Then the sheep, wool, right? And our biggest exports in about 1806 at the time of the Battle of Jena, or Jena, Jena, were leather boots and wool, Yorkshire, Scotland, fleeces, things to keep you warm. What were your clan chiefs done up in? You know, tweed, leather shoes, these big things that laced away up. Your kilt was just a massive, massive piece of tartan that you lay down and rolled yourself round and put a leather belt round it. And you didn't fight in your tartan. It was too good in case you got killed or bloodied and made a mess of it. So you fought in your short tail. So you were sitting with your bare bum on a horse fighting with an Englishman. So there we are. Very, very, very interesting. What a fantastic night tonight's been. Thomas, you must have wondered what you walked into, but Thomas, you're a Lanarkshire man, am I correct? So, I mean, you'll find it fascinating. A bit of your history for you here. Right, more chat, more sharing. What's going on? We do more sharing. Did we lose anybody when McClue allegedly disappeared? We wonder. Anybody know? More sharing. Right, I'll share this one. Right, can you all share, please? Share, 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 share. So there we are. Any more chat? What's happened to the chat? What have we done with the chat? Alistair Campbell. Alistair Campbell, were you the last one to chat? Wait till we see. Has something happened here? Let me have a wee look. What has happened to the chat? Right, I'm just sharing this, guys. That's gone off. Wonderful. And we'll do a bit of this. I know it's wanted here. Right. Everybody share, please. Share, 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 share. Share, 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 share. 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 What I'm doing, guys, I'm popping in all the YouTube bits here for you. Wonderful. Share, 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 share. And subscribe if you've just joined us, please. I need lots and lots of subscribers. Wonderful. Right, that'll do just now. Let's get that shared. Oh, I'll put live now, live now. There we are. Scottie live now. Okay. Oh, the wizard of the big switchboard will do all this, you know. Fantastic. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So there we are. But I'll tell you what I have lost. I seem to have a problem with the chat. I'm just going to see what's going on here. And of course, we've got lots of lovely, lovely water. There we are. Right, that's shared. That's beautiful, that is. And let me just check out the chat here. Right, now, guys, this is brilliant. Right, I've got a problem with my chat here, and I think I'm going to have to go on to the super chat. I wonder what's happened. Okay. So the last bit of chat I've got is, do the lions represent the lions of Judah? And that seems to have come from Alistair. So there we go. Scottie, got to go watching some car share. See you tomorrow night. Maybe I'll even Skype. Excellent. Right, let me get up here. I've got that. Got that. Yes, got that. Hi, Catherine. Got that. Wonderful. They represent the lions of Africa, Alistair. Merry Christmas. Are you putting in nonsense here? They have recorded music inside because of the acoustics. All right. Hamilton Palace was Scotland's largest stately home. I knew that. The largest country house in Scotland. Thomas says, Scottie, what happened to the L107 transmitter? A guy took it and had to put it back. So there we are. Ridiculous stuff to stop me from broadcasting. Very, very strange game. And he had to put it back again. And it allowed water ingress, and there was a problem with the reception and everything. So strange. A guy in a van went round and took it. So that's what happened. Thanks, Barry. As long as you're watching, I'll set up the chat for you for Monday, says Catherine. Catherine, I'm sure there's a crypt behind the lions, says Craig. Scottie, I used to listen to you when I was 13 back in the 90s, says Nikos Kazikanis. Nikos, where are you now? Do tell me. Finlay, so there we are. Barnard Castle, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Where our man allegedly went. Stephen Douglas, I'm going to head off and take the dog out now. I don't think I'll get back before you finish. I'll say good night to everyone. Stay safe and dinky do. Guys, I've got to look away to do the chat. I'll see if I can move it over. Let me try this. This is a bit of a long shot, but it might work because the chat's not working on the broadcast device, so I've got to read it on another device, if you are with me. But I'll try and get it here, and then I'm not looking too far away. Does that make sense? Now, can I do this? I might be able to do it. I might not. No, I think I'm not going to be able to do very much of it, but I'll see how much I can do. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We deal with difficulties, don't we? Is that not amazing? Right, here we are. Okay. Does that look as if I'm looking too far away now because I'm reading the chat? Thanks, Barry. As long as you're watching, I'll set up the chat. I used to listen to you in the 90s, says Nikos Katsikanis. Nikos, tell us where you are. Are you in Scotland? Are you abroad? Where are you? Do tell. So there we go. There's a message held for review. Somebody must have said something a bit naughty and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to head off to the dog out. Right, we've got that Fast Pat. Sorry, been quiet the last few nights. So much negativity from a certain person. Glad to be back. Catch the last hour of the show. Yes, Fast Pat. We don't mention him, though. That's gone. I wonder what's wrong with my chat. Anybody know? Anybody tell me about what's wrong with my chat? Why am I not getting it? What has happened? Who can tell? There we are. Am I missing something? I'm wondering if there's something I've tapped and I shouldn't have tapped or whatever. But I've lost my chat. Anyway, we're back onto here. Gordon Robertson. Talking of a certain Prime Minister, am I allowed to say I never liked the man and thought he was a poor Prime Minister? Yes, you can, Gordon. It's opinion. Craig, that's what I'm talking about. I'm intending to go down the A1 along the coast. Well, yes, I used to go A1. Scottie, chatting mind, share, share, share. Your chatting mind. Share, 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 says Derek. Who likes a bourbon biscuit? We all do, Barry, unless we're allergic. The castle is at Barncleuth Castle? No, I don't think so, Gordon. It's just, you go to Châtellerault, and the tea room used to be at the back, I think, and the wee car park, and then you walk down, is it over the Duke's Bridge, and up the other side, and you've got the great oak trees that have been there for hundreds of years, and you can hug them. I know it sounds a bit wild if you're not a tree hugger, but you can put your hands on them and feel the ancient energy. It's tremendous. And then there's a lovely old castle, just the remains of it sitting right there. And what are the oaks called again? They're the something oaks. Yes, not the Hamilton Oaks, but the something oaks. I don't know that it's Barncleuth. That one doesn't ring a bell, but I may be a bit rusty. There's Baron's Hoch in Motherwell, says Stuart Clark. It was a very aristocratic area. Catherine Raven, Pat, how are you? Fantastic. So still there. The back of the mausoleum, there are crypts behind heavy metal gates. And what will be in these crypts? That's the basement area. Right. And will that just be to keep the damp off the mausoleum? Or is that where they would have put the coffins? Because you know that the royals aren't buried. They go down to the royal vault, which is a set of shelving on just below the floor of St. George's Chapel in Windsor. So there you are. Except I think they buried King George VI and Prince Charles. King George VI died in 1952, the Queen's father, but they didn't bury him till 1969. He was sitting on a shelf, and the Queen Mother said, we must bury the king. And there's a ceremony, they break a little ivory rod when they're burying a king. And I can remember standing at his grave, George V1, it says, and I think the Queen Mother is now there beside him. So there we are. But these were vaults, and there are bodies of kings and royals going back for years on the shelves downstairs. So there you are. So at the actual burial, there's mechanical wheels that whir and go down to the vaults, to the royal vaults. What about that? Where is Finlay, says Thomas Peden? I don't know, Thomas. The echo lasts around 15 to 20 seconds, one of the longest in the world, but did they not say that when the door bangs, the echo goes on for a year? Stay on until 11, says Finlay. Stuart, Baronshawk's a wee bit further south and lies to the east of the M74 before the Lark Hall Slip Road. Ah, interesting, Gordon. I know it, yes. I think it was connected to Cyprus, says Catherine. What was connected to Cyprus, Catherine? Finlay Morris, 10 to 11, a free hour. Yes. Count Marculago, the Claymore in Wallace Monument in Stirling is not the original. I had the pleasure of finding out after speaking to a lady whose dad made it. All the tourists think it was genuine. Well, I knew a lady who, she was born in 1913, and her brother, I think her brother might have been older, and he was part of the group that pinched the Wallace sword in 1936 from Glasgow University, some of them. So there was no Stirling University then. So there we go. Gordon, yes, I've been at the late King's and late Queen Mother's crypts at Windsor Castle. Gordon Robertson, yes. The Order of the Garter. Oni swa ki meli pongs. There we are, fantastic. Why you sound funny, says H2O Tyrell. Me no know why me sound funny, H2O. Me speaking English. So there we go. And, well, Scots, actually, of course. Wonderful. Right. Any chance of this? What's happened, do we think, guys, to McClue's chat? I've lost it. I can't get you back. I've lost yous. McClue's chat's gone. Maybe it's just hopefully it's just a wee thing and it'll come back. There we go. We'll get it back. We'll get McClue's chat back, I say. It's wonderful. But it just suddenly stopped. Right, there we go. H2O, wonderful. More chat, more chats. Right, what's the last thing? Who typed there at the last bit? Gordon Robertson, thank you so much for all your fantastic information tonight. It was amazing. I don't know if the youngsters like Thomas and Finlay would be as interested as the rest of us, but, you know, always great stuff. Oh, this is doing my head. The chat's gone. We love it. Get this shared, says Finlay Morris. Absolutely, Finlay. There we are. Scottie, can we have a clip tonight? Yes. Let's have a clip. Did we have Mr. Martin too? Let me see what we've got in the clips, Catherine, for you. McClue will do you a wee clip. We shall see what's what. Did you like last night's clip? I'm never sure if we get it right, because it's difficult to please all the people all the time, as you know. So there we go. What have we got here? Now then. We could have Mr. Martin too, I suppose. We could do that. I love all this. What about this one? Shall we do the one on teenage pregnancies? Scottie gets a call from a lady who's exasperated with teenage pregnancies. Let's see what she's saying to it. Always very, very interesting to hear these things. There we are. It's a good old bit of welly. Fantastic. So let's see. Everybody subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to Scottie McClue, please get subscribing. Fantastic. Get liking, get sharing, get anything at all that helps. That would be fantastic. Right, we'll see what this lady's saying. We'll have a wee clip. We'll see what this lady's saying. Right, now tell me if it's too loud or too quiet every day. And I'll try and fix my chat. The Royal Navy Volunteer Reserve, the Bathing Navy, the fannies, female auxiliary nursing yeomanry. So if you were a fanny during the war, then come on, the QAs, the Queen Alexandra. Right, sorry about that. ETS, the Royal Navy, the Royal Navy Volunteer Reserve, the Wavy Navy, the fannies, female auxiliary nursing yeomanry. So if you were a fanny during the war, then come on, the QAs, the Queen Alexandra Royal Nurse
Nursing Service, the WAF, the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, the WRACs, the Warm Round and Cuddlies, the Home Guard, the local Defence Volunteers. I'm just racking my brains off the top of my head. Not that I was there, I would know anything about it. The Civil Defence, the ARP, all that sort of thing. So there you are. You can tell us a little bit about what it was like and how you think this nation has come up to your expectations when you were fighting for us. All right, so there you are. All the regiments, of course, the Lancashires, the Durham Light Infantry, the Yorkshires, the Sherwood Foresters, the Suffolks, the Northamptonshires, the Green Jackets, the Warlock Guards, the Dragoons, the Grenadiers, the Blues and Royals, you name it, you tell us. The Welsh Guards, of course, they're all Manchester Regiment, they're all Tank Regiment, they're all artillery. I don't know, I mean, I'm not a great military person, so I wouldn't know them all, but you can tell us what you think. Right, study the buffs. And also the other thing is, this lad, the one who fathered the child with the 12-year-old girl, right? We want to know about that. What do you think about that? And he says he's had stacks of lovers, and I think what we need to do is, as soon as a young lady becomes mature, shall we say, then her mother should ensure that she wears Scottie McClue's party pants, which of course have, they're cast in mild Sheffield steel, and they have a gusset lock for which mother holds the key. So there we are. I also wonder if we might have some sort of arrangement for young lads when they become mature, say before they're 16, so that if anything happened to stir in the forest, perhaps some sort of light flashes on their forehead or something like that. The house lights flash on and off. So you can tell us a bit about that. But right at the moment, you've got to have been in the war or know rather a lot about it. Chris from Manchester, are you there, mate? Dinky-doo, Chris.
Dinky-doo, Scotty.
Dinky-doo, mate. Were you in the war?
No, mate, I'm out of that category. I found before your topic came up, actually.
Oh, well, all right, I'll let you off then.
Well, actually, I was just trying to say, good your show, I love it.
Do you enjoy it, sir?
I'm a truck driver, and I travel to Manchester every night.
Oh, you're a Brum?
I'm a Brummy, yeah.
You sound like a Brum. Excellent stuff. That's what we want. We need more Brums.
And I just think you're the best thing since sliced bread, man. You're brilliant.
Hey, you're some man yourself, I'll tell you.
I'll laugh all the way home.
You get us on in the cab, do you? All that stuff. Hey, brilliant.
I listen to you every night, mate.
Hey, listen, tell us this. Do you ever see people wanting lifts late at night?
Occasionally, yeah. Man, if I put them on the services for fuel, there are.
And where are they going? I mean, what sort of, I don't mean where they're going, but what sort of reason are they wanting to go somewhere at 3 in the morning?
Joking right now, just going from place to place.
I was going down the M6 one night and I saw it, this guy's got this, he's holding up a sign, Birmingham at the slip road, and I thought, what's he going to Birmingham at 3:30 in the morning for?
God only knows, Scott.
I can't understand. I mean, going to Birmingham at any time of the day, but at 3:30 in the morning. Hey, lovely to talk to you, mate, and safe journey.
Yes, Scotty.
Hey, keep listening, because I promise you're a good one tonight.
I will do, yeah.
All right, see you, babes. Dinky-doo. Right, now, okay, he rang before, fair enough, that's acceptable. Margaret from Blackpool.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Scotty.
Dinky-doo.
Dinky-doo. Wanted to ring again to say thank you for a lovely week last week and this week.
Oh, hey, a busy week.
A
busy week.
Yes.
Never a dull moment, Margaret.
You're doing wonderful. And I've been listening to the rest of the show week on Sunday.
Lovely.
Last year, on the phone.
You'll come and say hello.
Oh, what? I'm going to come and say hello.
Oh, I'd love that.
And it's wonderful. You're lovely to us.
You're very kind, darling. You're lovely to us as well.
We look forward to 10 o'clock.
You're a very special person, you.
Thank you very much.
I tell you. I promise you a good night tonight.
Thank you very much, Scott. And take care of yourself.
Hey, and you look after yourself, Margaret, dear.
And you.
I look forward to seeing you.
Okay.
Dinky-doo.
Dinky-doo.
Bye-bye, darling.
Bye.
Thank you. What a nice lady. Now, I've had a letter from Peter from Birkenhead. Dinky-doo, Scotty. I've listened to you since Century started. Before that, you were on a crap radio station. I am fed up with all the fartheads in the East Midlands moaning about you. Ignore them. Keep up the good work. I live on my own and listen to you 5 nights a week. You're right about the women. There is a place in the home looking after the men doing housework. Get into the kitchen kitchen sink. The last point, Scotty, what about fat women? All they ever seem to do is stuff their faces. Love you too, Scotty. May you stay on the radio for a long time. Best wishes, Peter. Please read this out on air. Pleasure so to do, Peter. Thank you very much for that. Can't beat a tiny bit of congrat. Right, we're off to Liverpool to speak to Mick. Are you there, Mick? How you doing, Mick?
Hello.
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 Were you in the war?
No.
No.
I was just coming on to talk about the women drivers.
Women drivers. Oh, we're not discussing them tonight. We're discussing the war.
All right.
Is that okay? Do you know out about it? Right, obviously not. There we are. I always like when we get the academics on. He's the professor of anthropology at the University of Life. Right, who have we got here? This is Sue from Nottingham.
Dinky do.
Dinky do, darling.
How are you?
Were you in the war?
No, my grandparents were.
Were they? Is there nobody still alive who was in the war then?
I think they were.
Have they all pegged it?
Oh, good Lord, no. But the reason I was ringing up was what you were talking about the other night. This 12-year-old?
Yes.
And today about a 14-year-old boyfriend.
Yes.
Obviously, this is a very, very provocative subject. You know,
it is.
That is something I, as a parent, find absolutely horrendous.
Now, hold on a second, love. Hold on a second. I have to talk to the nation. All right, then. We've had a vote, and we think too many people from the war have actually pegged it. So, you don't have to ring up if you're only in the war. You can ring up anyway. How's that, Sue? Think that's better?
Well done.
Do you think that's better? And we'll open this subject to everyone. I was going to have an interesting night of people in the war, but I think too many have pegged it.
I think that it's going back to the war, I think it's something that, even though there was an awful lot of good times, you know, comradeship and things like that, there's an awful lot of bad memories connected with it.
I think a lot of people had a fantastic time during the war, those that survived and weren't maimed.
Sorry?
Those who survived and weren't sort of maimed had a fantastic time during the war, a lot of them.
That was the sort of story that came out. I mean, my granddad, he lived in London, and he often used to tell me he was an ARP, Air Patrol Warden.
Air raid, yeah.
Yeah, and as most people know, London had its fair share. I'm not saying that it was by any means the worse than anyone else, you know.
Oh, no, you had Nottingham, Sheffield, Derby, Manchester, Liverpool, Preston,
Coventry. I mean,
Coventry caught it a bit as well, Birmingham.
You know, I mean, so all of us throughout the country had our own, well, not me so much, but, you know, got their own memories of what happened during the war.
Right.
But
anyway,
you saw it, someone turned around and said, you know, they actually saw London burn and they couldn't do a thing about it. I mean, I thought my granddad was really exaggerating.
No, you couldn't, love. You couldn't do a thing. Have you never seen the famous picture of London in the Blitz with St. Paul's?
I have now, but at the
St. Paul's all lit up with the fire.
Yeah, you know, but when someone turns around and tells you that, you can't envisage it. You're a young kid, you can't envisage what it is they're telling you about.
Oh, dreadful, love. Anyway, you were going to tell me this 14-year-old who got a girl of 12 pregnant, and he says he's had stacks of lovers. He's had 10 other girlfriends.
Oh, well done to him.
And he's 14. So I think what we either need the young girls to wear SCOTTIE McCLUE's party pants with a gusset lock on them. Chain your love, chain laters, and either that or you want the guys when something actually stirs in the forest, a light flashes in the forehead.
I think personally, it's someone was talking on the radio earlier on today, and he was saying that it's about time, instead of helping these people, that we started making it into a form of a stigma. Now, years ago, it used to be that when someone was pregnant, out of marriage, they used to be shipped off to mother and child hospital, where they used to have the child, and then they used to go back into the community minus the child. The child used to be put up for adoption.
Child was put up for adoption, yeah.
That's right, and they were put back into the community to hopefully...
We should see more of that. Do you know that this country, right, is like a third world country when it comes to this?
We are so soft.
Yes. Do you know the government put 60 million quid aside?
What for?
Right, to see if they can cut down single mothers.
Well, they can easily cut down the single mothers. Stop making it so easy for them. Stop making it a stigma. Instead of having...
I think if a girl is loose, she should have to wear a party pants. And some lad goes, well, you've got SCOTTIE McCLUE party pants on, therefore I'm not touching you.
Yeah, but joking apart, I mean, I've got a young girl...
I'm not joking.
No, I'm saying...
Mild Sheffield still. It would mean you'd clank a bit when you go clubbing, but so what?
Oh, the old chastity belt, yeah.
Yes.
You talk about maybe, you can't do that.
Yes, you'd clank a bit when you were clubbing.
Have a word with it.
All these nice women women would be clanking up the stairs of the nightclub. Clank, clank.
But the problem is that we've had our rights, us as parents, have had our rights taken away. Then all of a sudden, when things start going pear-shaped, they start turning around and saying, "Hey, look a minute, you're a parent. You should be doing something about this." A friend of mine, her daughter was creeping out at night, coming back in at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She happened by accident to find out about this, and she gave the kid a clap.
Now, tell us more. Go on.
Right, she gave the kid a clap.
No, before that, go back to the bit, because I missed the bit before.
Oh, what, where she was creeping out?
Right.
Yeah, she was creeping out at night. When everyone else was in bed asleep, she was creeping out to meet the boys, to go party, and to do all sorts of things.
Right.
Behind her parents' back. When her mother found out, and she raised no hell and lost her temper and gave the kid a slap, the kid went to school the next day, and somehow or other ended up with a black eye. Now, I know my friend, and I know for a fact that she would never have resorted to a punch to make it into a black eye. A slap, yeah, but nothing else, you know? So we can only assume that she's got one of her mates, maybe a smacker or something like that. But anyway, she then reported it to the teacher, they reported it to the headmaster, they reported it to the school nurse, they reported it to the social services, they reported it to the police. They went round to my friend's house and arrested her. They actually arrested her. They took her down to a station and they charged her.
Good Lord.
They charged her because she raised her hand against her daughter.
Good Lord.
Now, her daughter became pregnant. And all of a sudden, all these do-gooders were saying, "Well, you should have kept an eye on your daughter. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" She turned around and said, "Hang on a minute. You've taken those rights away from me. You have charged me with trying to keep my daughter under control. Here, you have her. She's your problem now."
No, I don't understand. These people, this young couple, are resident in South Yorkshire. Now, Scottie McClue, right, until a year ago, was the biggest thing in South Yorkshire since the Yorkshire pudding, right? And I have talked for hours and hours and hours to the youngsters about dropping their drawers. And South Yorkshire still has the biggest incidence of teenage pregnancy.
Oh, I don't know. I think that
Right, it's the highest child pregnancy rate in Britain in South Yorkshire. And South Yorkshire, a lot of South Yorkshire are listening right now, and I can't understand it.
it's something that's very worrying.
Very worrying.
I think
Especially when you've had Scottie McClue telling you time and time again for a year.
Yeah, keep your knees together.
Keep your knees together, keep your hands on your hip knees.
Yeah.
And I really think if you're not going to wear McClue's party pants, then we should definitely give them some sort of contraceptive jab. Do you know what this lad's saying? He says that it's the sex lessons at school that have made him promiscuous.
And they always find an excuse. You know, these videos, they inspire people.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He says the shows videos of men and women naked.
We're trying to teach them something. We're trying to teach them responsibility.
I wonder if perhaps we should say anything about sex at all in schools. Because today there was talk of should you have condom machines in schools.
I mean, who is going to teach them? Years ago, they used to be unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if we should teach them at all.
So even then, you're going to have a problem, aren't you?
And you make it shameful. You make it shameful so they have to leave school and the child has to be put up for adoption. There should be a law passed that if you have a child out of wedlock and underage, you cannot keep it.
Yeah, but they've broken the law anyway, haven't they?
Yes, but you can't keep the child.
Well, yeah, I'm in full agreement with you.
That's what we should do. Lovely to talk to you, darling.
Yep, thank you again. Take care.
Dinky do. Right, I was only going to have people on who were in the war, but a lot of people want to discuss this teenage pregnancy.
Right, there you are. Now, I know that we're a fun setup on here, and we tend to be light-hearted, but what did you think of that clip? Do tell me. I'll pop back to the chat, and you tell us what you thought of that, guys. Very interesting. Now, it was a headline in all the newspapers at the time. A 14-year-old boy had got a 12-year-old girl pregnant, and he said that he was quite unrepentant, said he did stacks of lovers. And, they were blaming the girl and all the rest of it. What do you think the answer is to that? Because every single parent out there must have a view on this, and that was what was going on at the time. And it goes on. So there we are. Thomas Peterson is back with us. I think the chat's come back up. Fantastic. Why has that come up but not here? This is very, very strange. So I've got it here. Have I got the chat? No, we don't want to hide the chat. Come back and give me the chat. Ah, there it is. Excellent. Fantastic. I can see it. So there we go. And what have we got here? Last night was a good clip. It's always nice to hear a little snippet of the past. So there we are. Yes, absolutely. Thomas Beeden, I'm hanging on in. Good man, Thomas. So there we are. Somebody must be putting some stuff on here. Catherine says last night was good. The clip's always nice to hear a snippet of the past. That's right. Bit bassy, says Catherine. Yes, bit distorted. It is far too loud. Was at the start. Can hear okay. Not very clear, Scottie. Very muffled. Turn your speakers down, then back up after the clip. That's what I had to do. It was a bit loud. So there's Barry. It's okay. It's not okay, Catherine. Catherine, your hair raven back. Just a thought. No, my mum's hair was raven black. That's black. It's blue. I wish I had. Scottie, one's got under the net, says Catherine. I think so. Scottie, can you get your lab on live? He looks a broad dog. He's beautiful. He's sleeping at the moment. My mum said go and apply for a house. It'll be a decade before one was offered. I was going abroad at the time. The guy said to me, say you're pregnant and you'll get a house. He got an earful. Quite right. So did your Twitter get hacked, Scottie? No, not to my knowledge. So there you are. We're back in business, guys. Wonderful stuff. And hi, can you all see this? All right, so do let me know. Very, very important. Hi, can you all see this? I've lost my chat, guys, but let's hang on in there. What did you think of the clip? It's an amazing subject, actually. And of course, because we don't have the Scottie McClue megaphone in live in central Scotland, we can't discuss it, which is what people want to do. So there we are. Controversial, Scottie. Great call, though. Did it clear up, Glenn? Could you see it? So there we are. I can see it. Thanks, PM. Excellent. So there we are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Absolute mince. Barry, what is Barry Christmas doing? Not too sure about him. Guys, do you think Barry should go? We're getting a bit of nonsense there with Barry. There we are. The viewers are dropping off, says Thomas. Yeah, but we don't know when, Thomas. So there we are. Far too loud. Can hear okay. Excellent stuff. Wonderful. All clear, Scottie. Good stuff, Alistair Campbell. Thank you very much. I can see it. No, says Thomas. What's no, Thomas? What are you saying? No bans. All right. So do you think not? Do you not think we should ban Barry Christmas? No? I thought he was cheeking up a bit there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I've got it wrong. Perhaps he's not cheeking up. Excellent, excellent. So I've got the chat here, but I haven't got the chat to the side. Barry says, I'll take a yellow card. Okay, Barry, as long as you're being straight with us, we don't mind. So there you go. Do you have some discipline? You have to have some discipline, Scottie. Yes, we did. BM says, don't ban. Right, so there we are. There was girls in my school at 13 getting pregnant. When I was at school, it seems like education in my school about babies made some try the practical side of things. So there we are, yes. So there we go. I didn't mean to cheek up. Okay, Barry, no problem. You're back in the game. Catherine says, I remember my gran going crazy about the single mums getting money and houses. She had a point, really, because the ones too young to know better fell for it without realising babies were for life. A lot of blame must go to the parents, Scottie. So there you are. I remember having a discussion with somebody about a serious issue about what a young person had been up to. And I said to them, I said, well, if we're honest about it, I said, it's not the child's fault, the child being quite senior. And they turned around and went, Scottie, it never is. It never is. And I thought that was a very interesting answer. And this is somebody with a lot of experience of working with young people. So there we are, fantastic. I keep going back to check the chat. So are the parents responsible for badly behaved youngsters, would you say? All right, very, very important. To what extent? I'll put this in. To what extent are the parents responsible for, to what extent are the parents responsible for the behavior of their offspring? Right? I'll put that in. Thomas Peden, you're an awful man for panicking. The viewers are dropping and all that sort of stuff. People come and go. This is what streaming's all about. You know, you're not going to suddenly get 1 million people watching and then they're going to just stay and hang on every single word, although ideally they should do, because McClue speaks verity and talks sense. So there we go. To what extent are the parents responsible for the behavior of their offspring? Count Marcilago, on the subject of babies, I think during lockdown in April and May, we will see a baby boom in December. Anybody agree with that? Do tell. I don't know why I keep going back to the chat here. It's no good. It's useless. There we are, 100%. So there we are. The wonderful Susan Forrest says the parents are 100% responsible for the behavior of their children. Does everybody agree with that? Do tell. Yes, let's have your comments, please. I've had a few timeouts. Finlay, you've only had 2 timeouts. And did you get a ban at one time? Right. Gordon Robertson, Scottie, you just said people. Was that a comment relating to single mothers and teenage pregnancies? Gordon Robertson, raise your game, sir. Thomas Bean, I added up the totaling viewing figures for the whole 60-odd streams, and YouTube had a total of 11,400 or so, averaging 129 a stream. Well, that's a pretty good start, Tam, do you not think? I mean, could you imagine, Thomas, were you not going to be a priest at one point, thinking about the priesthood? 129 turned up every day at your mass? You'd be beside yourself. I was bored, says Thomas. The parents might be drunk, says BM 2018. Parents could be anything, BM. I remember a teacher telling me, she said, I had to stop the school show because of bad behavior. And I said, why were the children acting up? Normally children are very well behaved at a school show. She said it was nothing to do with the children, it was the parents. So there you are, they turned up with a drink in them. I've never had a ban, Scottie. Glenn Peacock, you've never done anything wrong. Count Marcilago, I told you there was no pregnancy test left in the shops, not that I was looking for one. Ah, very good. So there you are. So Tam, what you need to do, I mean, you're a young lad, but what you need to do is have the faith. Increase your faith. Remember when I came to Scott FM, there were 3,000 people listening at night, and they had a top broadcaster on. Top broadcaster. One of the best. And there were 3,000 people listening. And once McClue started his nonsense, that was taken up to probably around the 200,000 mark. Right? That station you had the clip of, there could be anything up to 12 million listening to that, because there was 4 massive regional stations put together at night for the phone in. So, you see, you've got to have the faith, Dan. That's what it's all about. You start from little acorns, great oaks grow. You'd like to be in the music industry singing your songs? You start off, and then you become very popular. Billy Connolly going round the clubs at night with his banjo and the Humble Bums. Then he started doing a wee bit more chat. Then his chat got a bit longer. And then the numbers started, you see? I wasn't criticizing. No, I know, but I can see it, Tam. You know, I mean, I know exactly what you were saying. I'm not saying you were criticizing. And to have the faith, do you know what I mean? And I had a wee look, and when I think we're about 480,000 people have seen the YouTube channel, you know, so that's a start. You see, we need to get the word out there. Merry Christmas says you're a top broadcaster. I would hope so. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. I was just giving you figures. I just thought it would have been I know, Thomas, and I'm just giving you an answer to that and saying that, you've got to build up the stream. That's what we're doing. And 60, it seems big on the scale of things, but it's nothing. I said to a friend on the phone recently about somebody who had, I think it was 164